One time I was at a restaurant with my dad, and the waiter dropped off our food and said, "Enjoy your meal." And without even thinking about it, I said, "You too." My dad just looked at me, not the whole table, me. He goes, "You too." He's not eating anything. He's holding a tray of nachos that aren't his. And I sat there for a solid 10 seconds trying to explain myself, and I had nothing. I just said words back at a man. That's it. That's the whole transaction. And once I noticed it happening to me, I started noticing it happens to basically everyone. This isn't a me problem. This is a universal glitch in the human social operating system, and I think it's worth taking seriously, because clearly none of us can stop doing it. So here's what's actually going on. Linguists have this concept called an adjacency pair. Certain phrases come in matched sets, where hearing the first half automatically triggers the second half, whether it makes sense or not. "How are you?" gets "good you." "Thank you" gets "you're welcome." Your brain doesn't evaluate these. It completes the pattern like a reflex, the same way your leg kicks out when the doctor taps your knee. "Enjoy your meal" sounds close enough to "have a good one" that your brain slots it into the exact same response bucket. "Congratulations, you too, on your salmon." Here's the part that matters most. Your mouth is operating about half a second ahead of your brain. Not sometimes, constantly. Your logic center doesn't get a vote until after the words are already out. No committee meeting, no memo asking, "Does this person have a meal to enjoy?" By the time your prefrontal cortex shows up, the waiter's already walking away, and you're standing there in the wreckage of your own courtesy. Cashier hands you your receipt, says, "Have a nice day." You say, "You too." Makes sense. Day's a pretty universal resource. Pilots don't get the same mercy. "Have a nice flight," someone tells the guy who is about to spend 6 hours strapped into the exact same seat, staring at the exact same instrument panel. And he says, "Thank you." He will try to have a nice flight while flying the flight. And you'd think knowing about the glitch would stop it. It doesn't. That's the part that should actually bother you a little. You can watch the pattern coming, name it out loud, understand the linguistics behind it, and your mouth still won't listen. Ask a dental hygienist. She spends 40 minutes with a scaler up in your gum line, and on the way out, she says, "Take care of those teeth." And you, a person with no medical degree, holding 0 dental tools, tell her to take care of hers too, like she needed the reminder. The pizza guy might have it worst of all. He hands you the box, says "Enjoy," and you say, "You too." He's not eating your pizza. He's got 11 more stops. Somewhere out there right now is a version of him pulling up to a stranger's house in Ohio, saying the exact same sentence, getting the exact same answer back. He's been told to enjoy 17 pizzas tonight. He will taste none of them. Now, some of you are thinking, well, maybe I just mean it as general goodwill, not literally about the meal. Sure. But then ask yourself why you don't say "you too" back to the smoke detector when it beeps. That's also technically an alert directed at you, and you don't reflexively engage with it. The difference is your brain has a script loaded specifically for service exchanges, and it fires whether or not the content lines up, because matching the rhythm matters more to your nervous system than matching the meaning. There's a version of this that's somehow worse. When you catch it mid-sentence, you feel the "you too" rising up out of you like a sneeze you cannot stop. You try to override it in real time, and what comes out instead is some mutant hybrid phrase. "You too," I mean, "have a," "yeah, thanks," and now you've made it weirder than if you just said the wrong thing cleanly. A clean "you too" has plausible deniability. A stammered correction mid-word tells everyone in a 10-foot radius you're currently having a small crisis about a sentence. I've said "you too" to a doctor after good test results. I've said "you too" to a stranger who told me I dropped my glove. And once, mid-evacuation, a fire alarm said, "Please exit the building." And I said "you too" to a recorded voice in a stairwell, apparently wishing a fire alarm a pleasant evacuation of its own. There is no "to" available in that sentence. I said it anyway. If any of this proves anything, it's that the half-second gap between mouth and brain isn't a flaw you're going to patch. It's just the price of a nervous system built to keep conversations moving instead of grinding to a halt every time someone says something slightly off. The waiter's not offended. He's not going home to write a review about the customer who wished him a meal he doesn't get to eat. He's doing the exact same thing back at the next table in 20 minutes. It's less a personal failure and more a group project nobody signed up for, but everybody's somehow fluent in. So next time it happens, don't spiral. Let it ride. Say you too to the waiter. Say you too to the pilot. Say you too to the fire alarm, if that's really where your night is headed. We're all just out here, running the same broken script, wishing meals onto people who aren't eating, and somehow, that's the most human thing about the whole exchange. Thanks for watching, and you too.